Good evening, all, and welcome to the first night of the Detroit Pistons Pride Week presented by Delta Dental. This week serves as a celebration to inspire, impact, and support the LGBTQ plus community and spread a continual message of inclusion for all. We are fighting right now for justice, and not just for the LGBT community, but for everybody. I am joined this evening with Chris Mosier, a trailblazing Nike-sponsored athlete, coach, and founder of transathlete.com. In 2020, Chris made history becoming the first transgender athlete to compete in the Olympic trials in the gender in which they identify. Prior to that, in 2015, he became the first openly trans man to make a men's U.S. national team. Chris was instrumental in getting the International Olympic Committee policy on transgender athletes changed, and in June of 2016, he became the first trans athlete to compete in a world championship race under the new rules, where he was the second fastest American man in his group. Chris has been called the man who changed the Olympics by the BBC and New York Magazine, and has represented Team USA 6 times. Can't beat that. We are thrilled to have Chris kick off Pistons Pride Week. Without further ado, let me pass it over to Chris Mosier. Take it over, Chris.
All right, thank you so much. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me. All right, we are all set. And today we have an inclusive, all levels workout that we're doing. You need no equipment, and I have no music. So if you want to cue some up in your house, if you feel more motivated to do it, go ahead and load up the playlist. And we're going to get started right now with a little bit of a warm up. So starting off with jumping jacks. And so here's our jumping jack option number 1. We also have a step out option if you are a no jump. And then we also have a seated option. So all of our exercises are going to have a seated option as well. And so this is what we're doing right here. And we're just warming up right now, getting the blood flowing a little bit. All right, Jonathan, you're in on this. I love it. All right, we're going into air squats. We're going to keep the chest up, and we're just going to squat down. So nice and slow. It's going to look like this. Supported if you need to. You can hold on to something. And then if you are in the seated option, we're doing a press just like this. So we're just loosening up the whole body, keeping that chest up. And we're just going to do about 5 more here just as our warm up. We'll come back to this move a little bit later on. And last one. All right, we're going to go arm circles, seated or standing, starting off small. And then getting larger and larger. And then as big of circles as you can, nice big circles. Keep the chest up, and then we're going to swim the arms forward just like this. This is not actually how you swim. Don't try this in the water. We're just going to let those shoulders move, and then we're going to go backstroke. So lift your chest up, your chin up, just like this, and the arms are going backwards. And then we're going to go both arms backwards as well. Small, larger, larger, and then our arms across our body. So also here, same thing. Chest stays up. And then we're gonna take that right elbow and go across the body, and then the left across to the right side. And if you're standing, we're just twisting just like this. All right, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms. Let's do some neck circles. We're just gonna roll our head. Today's workout, we are going to do 3 sets of 3 exercises. Let's go ahead and reverse the roll. So the head goes down, you look up at the ceiling, look around, and then down to the floor. We're gonna do 3 sets of 3 exercises. We're gonna do 40 seconds on with 15 seconds off. And then we're gonna take a 1-minute break in between. I'll explain everything. We're gonna do 1 more round of jumping jacks or step outs or arm jacks. So go ahead and do that. This is our final part of warm up right here. And if you're seated, it's this. And we also have the step out option, just like that. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, shake it out. Anything else that you need to do to feel warmed up, go ahead and do it while I'm explaining the exercises. But here's what round number 1 is going to be. I've got my timer right here so you can see our 40 seconds on, our 15 seconds break. I forgot what I wrote down. And then we have 1 minute in between rounds. Exercise number 1 is going to be a seal jack. It's very similar to the jumping jacks we just did, except our arms will go out straight and clap at our clavicle, right at shoulder high. And then we jump out and go nice wide arms. So we have a step out option where we'll step and transfer our weight to our right side, then push off our right leg back to the center, left side, and then back to the center. Or this is the full movement is right here. And then our seated version of this is going to be arms out nice and strong. Both arms go out to the side like a T, hands come together, chest high, clap in the middle, big strong arms. So that's exercise number 1, our seal jacks. Number 2 is going to be a squat. We did it in warm up. It's going to be chest up. We come down like we're sitting in a chair and then come back up. The scaled version of this is going to be holding something. You could hold a wall. So for support, we go down, or you hold onto a chair or a couch, just like that. And then our seated version of this is going to be that press again. We go up, pause, down, pause, just like that. And then number 3 is going to be dips. If you have a chair nearby, you could do it on a chair. You could do it on the floor. We're going to go down to the ground, hands right behind us. Our butt comes up off the ground, and we go down and then up, bending our arms just like that. On a chair, it will look like this, or a bench. And then if you are in a seated position, you're going to go on the side rails or the side of your seat and press up just like that. Those are our 3 exercises. I'll cue you through it as we go. Let's get ready for round 1. I'm starting up my timer. 3, 2, 1. Let's go seal jacks for 40 seconds. So with these, we keep the core nice and tight. The belly button is engaged. And we think about those strong arms going out. If you're in that step out version, it's the same thing. Nice strong arms. So the arms pause at the side and come back together nice and strong. And then same thing here, really focusing on the strong arms in this seated version. Straight out, shoulder high. Otherwise, we've got those legs going. Home stretch here. 2, 1, and we rest. 10 seconds rest. I joked. Okay, so going into our squat. Chest is up. Feet are shoulder width apart. And here we go. We've got 40 seconds here. Chest stays up, and it's like we're sitting down, and then we come back up, squeeze the butt at the top. Our seated version is this right here, nice and strong. Pause. Again, we keep the core nice and tight, the head looking straight ahead. And every time we come up, we squeeze our butt and push our pelvis forward a little bit, scoop the hips under. And we've got 10 seconds to go. That's it. 2, 1, and dips. So our seated version is going to be lifting up out of the chair. Everybody else down on the floor. We've got our butt up. So I have the black shorts on the dark turf here. You might not be able to see. My butt is up, and this is a very small movement. So just a small bend in the arms. I keep the chest up. I'm probably moving just about 2 inches here, but you should be able to feel this. And if you can't, you can speed it up a little bit. You can knock out more of these. You keep the eyes forward, the head and neck in line. 15 seconds to go. Oh, that was a 12. We got 10 seconds to go. Good, even better. Keep that going. So that was all of round 1. We're going right into round 2 with the same thing. So back to seal jacks in this ready position. 2, 1, and go. I like to get that nice little clap in the center. It's satisfying. You know you're working. And always think about those strong arms going out to the side. If at any time you need to scale this, feel free to move to the other version. And if you're seated, we've got those strong arms. And just like this, those arms are going out to the side. Head and neck in line, nice tall posture here. 5 seconds to go. 2, 1, done. Shake it out. We're going into the squats round 2. So here we are. We've got this version. Otherwise, you are squatting and coming up. If you want to level this up, you can grab a weight. You can grab a bag of groceries. You can grab a puppy. Just want to make sure we keep that head and neck up. So good posture. Every time we come up, I like to put the arms up in front and then pull my hands behind me to kind of emphasize that posture piece. So every time I come up, I give that press back, nice and tall, and less than 10 seconds to go. 2, 1, shake it out, down to the ground for dips or grabbing that side. So here we go. If you are using a chair at home, it could look like this. And we also have this version right here. We're doing the lift up. If you have side arms, even better, gives you a little extra movement there. Otherwise, we are doing this nice floor movement. This is an exercise that you can do anywhere. This whole workout, really, you need no equipment. All good. You've got 10 seconds. Stay with me and keep pressing. 2, 1, done. Moving into our final round, seal jacks. We're almost done with set number 1. All right, arms out, nice and strong. And go. So with these seal jacks, I like to keep a nice little bend in my knees here. Gives me that nice soft landing. This is an exercise you can do if you've got downstairs neighbors. It's an exercise you can do if you've got sleeping children or it's early in the morning, totally fine. Also this option. And we have that real transfer of weight. This one, especially, I like to get really low with that. It's almost like another squat. And then we've got those arms going nice and strong. Final 5 seconds. 2, 1, and done. Final round of squats. All right, we've got a break coming up here. 40 seconds, here we go. So you could have a weight and curl here. I like to also sometimes put those arms out for stability. So the arms go out or the arms come to the chest. Either way, find a rhythm, keep it going. If you're here, same thing. Strong pull down, strong push up. 5 seconds to go. Last time doing squats. All right, done. Final round, dips coming up here. Then we get a break. And here we go. Butt is up. And we are pressing. Chest stays up. The core stays engaged. We keep that belly button pulled back towards the spine. We've got a bend in the knees. And we're bending these elbows. We've got a 1-minute break coming up. Keep pushing. 12 seconds. Home stretch. 3, 2, 1, done. Nice job. Grab a drink. Here's our break. All right, number 2, here we go. We're gonna go with a step through lunge. We're gonna plant our left foot. We're gonna take our right foot. We're gonna step forward and lunge. We're gonna come back and then step backwards and lunge. And we're gonna stay with 1 foot planted that entire time. So that's gonna be exercise number 1. Number 2, we're gonna do the other leg. So right leg stays planted, left leg pushes through and then comes backwards. For a seated version of this, we're going one arm, we go up and then we go out, nice and strong with a big row backwards, press, pull, push, pull. So that's the move for that one. And then lateral hops, we're gonna go side to side, lateral hops for our cardio piece here. Our seated version is running arms. So 5 seconds, let's get ready. We're going right leg first. I have my left leg planted. We're stepping through and then stepping backwards. So chest stays up. In the front, I push off of that front leg. In the back, I push off that back leg. So my right leg right now is doing all the pushing. Left leg stays stationary. Seated version. Press, pull, push, pull. So we go up, pull it down, push it out, pull it back. Just like that. Otherwise, we're in this lunge. Stay with it nice and tall at the top every time. And done. Switching sides. Totally fine to grab something for stability here or to not go down all the way. So right leg stationary, left leg steps through, come up nice and tall, slide it back, and then come through again. I'm doing sort of running arms with this just because I'm a runner. I like to keep that stability. And it's also like a little bit of a bicep curl here. So I'm coming through, up nice and tall, coming back. Every time, core stays engaged. I'm pushing through, pushing off that front leg, coming back, pushing off that back leg, and coming through. 3, 2, 1, and done. Lateral hops. This is the cardio component. Get the heart rate up. Hear my heavy breathing. All right, here we go. So pretend like you have a towel on the ground and we're jumping over that towel using those arms to help us side to side. Some people might call this a skier jump, something like that. If you're a no jump person, you are knees bent and you're going side to side just like this. You're seated. We've got these running arms just like this, chest up, head high, getting that heart rate up. Final 5 seconds. 2, 1, done. Back to our step through lunges. If you want to grab something to hold on to level this up, feel free. I've got left leg stationary, right leg stepping through, going into that runner position every single time. Now, if you notice my knee doesn't touch the ground when I'm doing this, I'm coming right above the ground. If it happens to touch, that's fine, but you don't need to go all the way down like that. Reminder, if you're here, we're going up, push, pull, nice and strong, engaging all of these muscles right here. And if you want to level this up, you can go to a high knee at the top of this, get a little balance. Come up nice and tall. All right, we're switching sides. Other leg is stationary, other leg stepping through. So I'm going right leg stationary, left leg stepping through. Good tall posture, coming back, I'm stepping through. You're leveling this up, you're holding on to something heavy, or you're hitting this balance piece up, pause, down, and making sure that we are emphasizing that push off to get back into that position. Seated version, same thing, other arm up, press, pull, press, pull. We go up and then we go out, just like that. Back to here. Home stretch, 3, 2, 1, done. 2 rounds of that done. Lateral hops or running arms. Here we go. 3, 2, and here we go. Hopping over that towel. Getting that breathing going. Celebrating Equality Week, everybody. Detroit Pistons. Shout out to Delta Dental. Thank you so much for having us. And thanks for joining along here. We've got this option as well. And then this one right here. Less than 10 to go. 2, 1, done. Last round, step through lunges, get in position. I'm a left leg stationary, chest up, good posture. And here we go. Nice and controlled, pressing off. We have a lot to celebrate today, everybody. It is Pride Month, and the Supreme Court of the United States decided in favor of LGBTQ workers that we can no longer be discriminated against in employment situations. And that is a huge win. We're very happy today. Pride doesn't look exactly like it has in the past, but good things are happening. And we're all coming together in community to celebrate. And done. All right, moving on to that other side. My right leg is stationary, left leg moving. And go. All right, if at any point in time here, you feel fatigued, I want you to switch this up, hold on to something. And working out, you should never feel pain. You understand you're doing this at your own risk. You should always consult a doctor before you start a medical program, before you start a workout program. And we never have to push through pain. Maybe a little ache if we haven't been doing this in a little while. Home stretch, 5 seconds. Stay with it. 3, 2, 1, done. All right. Lateral hops, final round. And go. We've got this, or this, or our running arms. Pulling those elbows back, chest up, going across the body. Getting that heart rate up. "15 seconds. Stay with me all the way through the final bell. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, break. Get some water, towel off. Here's what we're doing for round number 3. Straight sit-ups. So we're gonna have our feet out like this. We're gonna go down, hands can come above head, and we try to reach up. If you need to, you can use those arms to help pull you forward. If your torso is not coming up off the ground, you can do a crunch here. And our seated version is going to be a seated crunch, just like this. Number 2, push-ups. I'll show you our seated version of the push-up is gonna be actually a hand clasp press. So we're gonna press and then release, press and release, and you should feel that in the chest. Otherwise, we're going from our feet or from our knees and coming down with our head and neck in line, hands directly below the shoulders. Here's our knee version, as we just tuck those back. And then we're doing a plank. We'll be on our elbows or on our hands, just holding this position. Our seated plank is gonna be a hold up. All right, sit-ups, round 1. Here we go. Got my feet back, just like this. I'm gonna roll down nice and slowly and then reach up, nice and tall. Slow on the way down. You can use those hands to help. And if you have a weight, actually, a weight can make it both harder and easier. If you help like sort of throw the weight, is gonna give you a little momentum. If you hold the weight nice and static and go up, it's gonna make it a little bit harder. We've got crunches here, just like that, and done. Nice job, everybody. We're going into those push-ups. If you're in the seated version, hand clasp just like this. We press together, feel that chest squeeze, and then release. Otherwise, you're on the ground. We've got our hands directly under our shoulders. feet in line, and we make a nice straight line from our head, shoulders, hips, and heels. So nice flat line. We lower down, we come up. We keep those eyes right here. So you don't want to tuck your chin. You don't want to stick your head out like you're a chicken. Keep those eyes right down on the ground. And if you're in that knee version, we do the same thing. Nice straight line, knees, hips, shoulders, head. And we press up just like that. Eyes stay right here. 2, 1, and done. Got the hang of both of those. We're going into plank. If you're seated, you are elevating and holding and squeezing that core. If you are not, you're coming down to your elbows, and you can be on your knees or on your feet. We have the elbows directly under our shoulders, eyes between your hands. We put our hands out and open. We keep the butt down, pull the belly button in. If you need to come out of this or come down to your knees, that's fine. You can go to your knees. If you need to go down, rest, then come right back into it. This is a great one. We're holding, we're holding, we're holding. Few more seconds here. Take a nice big deep breath in. Squeeze your belly button up towards your spine, and done. Nice job. We're going back into those sit-ups or seated crunches. Round 2 of 3. We're in the final couple minutes of this workout. Let's go ahead and reach up nice and tall. Good posture. I'm looking at the top corner of my room. I'm going back slowly. I'm coming up nice and tall. I'm pretending like I'm holding something. I'm keeping that directly above my head when I'm down, and then reaching up towards that corner with that good posture. Otherwise, you are crunching like this if the torso is not coming up. Or we've got this one right here. And on this one, I want you to go cross-body now. Let's go cross-body crunch, squeezing those abs. You can do a little lift if you can on the opposite leg. We go left elbow, right side, right elbow, left side. All right, back into that plank. So we're holding, actually push-ups, push-ups. I get a little excited. We're in that push-up position. And here we go, pressing up, finding a pace that works for you, knowing you've got 40 seconds to do this. Seated version, once again, we go squeeze like that, and then release. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Nice job, keep it up. If you have to drop down to those knees, even halfway down, you can either start on the knees or drop to the knees. I'd rather have you use perfect form than to do it sloppy, right? Form is everything. 1, done. Now we go into that plank, down on the ground. We're gonna be on our elbows, directly below our shoulders. Here's my side version. We're keeping it just like this. The secret here is to squeeze your glutes and to pull your belly button up towards your spine. So contract the whole core, and we keep those elbows directly underneath the shoulders. If you have those arms too far out, it gets a lot of stress. It's actually a lot harder to do that exercise. So right here, and then from the knee version, it's the same thing. Just keep the hips low. We don't want the butt up. We want that butt down, eyes in front of your fingertips. And we're in the home stretch. 2, 1, done. Last round of exercises. Let's go. Let's push through. We got Q&A after this. Celebrating Pride Month with the Detroit Pistons Equality Week. Let's go. Sit-ups, nice and tall. Do what you can. Nice job, everybody. We're going crunches. Right elbow to the left knee here in the seated position, coming up nice and tall every single time. And we've got 10 seconds to go. Let's go all the way through the bell. This is the last time we're doing this exercise. 2, 1, done. Push-up time or hand clasp. Final time we're doing it. Let's go for it. Best effort here. Last round, best round. That's what we always say. It's always a test to see what else you have in the tank. Can you finish leaving it all out here? You can do anything for 30 seconds, right? Keep it going. Hands directly under those shoulders. If you're on the knees, same thing, just like this, line it up. If you're seated, we're squeezing and releasing. Relax your face, take a big deep breath in. Let it out, 3, 2, 1, done. One plank stands between you and the end of this equality workout. Let's go for it. You're seated, you are lifting and holding, contracting that core. You're on the ground, we're on those elbows. The booty is down, eyes between your hands. Jonathan, are you with me?
I'm with you. I'm back.
You're sitting up, man. I'm gonna need you to sit up in that chair and do that seated plank position with me for these final 20 seconds.
I'm sitting up.
Every day, every workout, every move you do is moving towards something. Makes you a little bit stronger. It all adds up. It all counts. 2, 1, done. Hey.
Woo.
All right.
That was it. That was a great workout.
That is that. Shake it out. We're going to do a little cool down, stretchy while we take some questions.
All right.
So, Jonathan.
Are you ready? So we have a few questions from a couple of our viewers. One is, what is your favorite workout?
Favorite workout. I love strength workouts. And right now I'm really into leg workouts because I'm rehabbing my knee. I tore my meniscus in January, and it's been a tough road to recovery, but it's been really great to watch the progress. And so, seeing yourself progress over time is awesome. When you become an elite athlete, there's very little progress that happens. It's not as much as when you're coming back from injury, you're just starting. And I really love that process of like seeing yourself grow and change and evolve. And so right now it's leg day.
Leg day. Yeah, my legs are sore from what you were just doing. So. All right, we have another one. How do you stay motivated on days that you're just, not really feeling it?
Good question. So I think motivation can come and go for all of us. And especially this time of the stay-at-home orders of COVID-19 has been really tough for a lot of people. It's been a total disruption to our schedules. Everything has changed. And so I kind of went into it thinking, I'm going to be having a ton of time to work out. So I'm just going to be stronger than ever before by the end of this. And then, you don't have to get up, you don't have to commute, you're not on the road, and suddenly you're sleeping in. And me, I'm sleeping in.
We're all guilty of it.
So how do I stay motivated? I keep my why in mind. So for me, it's all about knowing what is your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you working out? If the goal is to have a release and for it to be fun and it's not fun anymore, you need to find something else that's fun.
Absolutely.
And for me, working out, a big part of the reason why I work out and train is because I want to be able to race well. I want to continue to represent the United States in international competition. I want to do that and be that professional athlete so that people have a role model. They have somebody to look to. So my why is thinking about my community, thinking about me when I was a kid and who I wanted to see in the world. And that's what makes me motivated to get out there and do it on the days that I don't really want to.
Well, you're definitely a great motivator. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
What else do we have here? What do you advise to a young transgender athlete?
I would say, first of all, you know yourself better than anybody else. Don't let anybody in this world tell you that you are not exactly who you know that you are. And the second thing is never limit your greatness to make other people feel more comfortable. There's no reason for you to hide your shine because people around you aren't sure about how to deal with it. And so I've seen so many young athletes, so many trans people hide the greatness of who they are because they don't want to draw attention to themselves. They don't want to, have other people say things about them. When all of this is just positive stuff, right? It's this showing up in the world as the person that we know that we are. That's a gift to give to other people. And so you know who you are, and there is a place for you in sport.
Change is coming, so that's good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is the best vegan pre and post workout snacks that you could think of?
Hey, somebody knows I'm a vegan. All right. It depends on the time of day. And so like in the morning, I don't necessarily eat before I work out. But something small for me is like a banana peanut butter toast, something like that. If I know that I have a workout in like an hour or something, I like a couple of different types of vegan bars. I just grab something quick like that. But usually like a banana and peanut butter would be my go-to. And then after, just real food, just as much as I can, just eat real food. There's no magic tricks or bars or potions or pills that will get you to advance athletically. You know, it's about doing the small things, and usually those small things are the basic things that we should be doing every day anyway. So getting good rest, making sure that we're staying hydrated with water, making sure that we're eating real food, you know, properly hydrating and eating real
That's
food.
great. That's great. Well, I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but how do you feel about today's Supreme Court victory? I mean, I know that's going to be some big strides.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. I can say honestly, I wasn't sure it was going to go this way. And, you know, it being Pride Month and what has happened recently with the sort of, you know, for a moment, I forgot that COVID-19 was even a thing, because all of the energy and focus was on Black Lives Matters, and it needs to be there, right? This is the moment for real change, you know, talking about white supremacy and racial inequality in the United States specifically. And that plays into sport a lot as well, specifically for transgender people and transgender athletes, because young Black trans women are the biggest targets of violence, of policy discrimination in sports, and specifically even in high school sports for young people. So when I saw this ruling today, you know, I know that this will have a trickle-down effect that will be long-lasting and very impactful for our community. Today's ruling, for anybody who missed it, was about employment discrimination. And so now it is illegal to fire somebody on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity in any employment in the United States. And previously there were 21 states or something like that where you could be fired, or maybe those were the protected ones. So now this is a huge, huge change where we now have protection, but that is also going to translate over to school and to healthcare, and should override the ruling that came out on Friday that would ban trans people from being able to access healthcare in a safe and appropriate way. So, you know, I feel very grateful and very happy, specifically grateful for the people who lent their names to this case, who had the courage and bravery to be the face of this fight, and for all the people who have stood up over the last, you know, long year battle to say, you know, we do belong. There is a place for us. And that message is so, so important for everybody right now, you know, to say like there is a place for us in this world. And the last couple of years have been a challenge, because we've been getting a lot of messages that we don't belong, that we are not valid. And this is affirmation that there is a place for us. And hopefully we can continue to use this momentum and build on the momentum of Black Lives Matter, of our, you know, push right now for talking really critically and in a real meaningful way about race and about intersections of identity and about how we're showing up in the world every day.
Well, that was a lot of great information. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Got a few more questions if you got time.
Yeah, cool? Let's do it. Definitely.
All right, cool. What have you missed most about being home with this stay-at-home order?
You know, I've really missed traveling. I traveled last year about 115 days of the year, and since March, I have not been traveling. And what I love most about traveling is going to places and meeting people on the ground, and just meeting incredible people who are, you know, fighting these legal cases, who are in their own community, advocating in their own circles, speaking with trans people and queer people across the country, and just hearing their stories and their experiences. It's really that human connection that I miss the most. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that kind of leads into the next question. It says, what do you miss most about traditional Pride celebrations? And I would think it would have something to do with the interaction with people.
It's absolutely in person. There's something about Pride that is so important, that you can just show up in a place and be with other people who are like you. I remember, I will never forget my first Pride celebration of showing up and being like, wow, I'm not the only one. Mm-hmm. You know, the experience of being a queer person, being a trans person in the United States or anywhere in the world can be very isolating. It can be a real lonely experience. And Pride is just such a celebration of our identities. And at the same time, a celebration of all of our history, of the revolution that has taken place, of the uprising. And you know, in a lot of ways, what's happening right now, happening in Pride Month, is really meaningful, because Pride was a protest. Pride is built on people saying, we are not going to take this treatment anymore. And you know, it seems like just the perfect time in harmony with Pride Month to really come together as multiple communities to say, like, we need to create change. So it's a little different. We're not having the, it's not the parties and celebration, but I think it's just as meaningful, if not more, right now.
Absolutely. That's great. All right. I got 2 more quick ones for you. Could
Yeah.
you name one athlete who has inspired you a lot? And well, they got you to where you are today, basically. Is there an athlete?
Yeah. So I really looked up to athletes who had a social justice component of their experience, which I didn't realize this when I was a kid, but I was really drawn to social activists who were athletes. So my earliest memories and posters that I had ripped out and put on my wall when I was 10 years old were of John Carlos and Tommy Smith at the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City with their gloved fist in the air on the podium. And, to look back on that now to say, wow, that was, like as a 10-year-old, that really struck me as a meaningful moment, as something that was really important to me. So athletes who have used their platform in meaningful ways have always been my inspiration and role models.
Well, that's great to hear. And let's see, where can we get in touch with you on social media? Everyone wants to find you now.
Yeah, thank you. At the Chris Mosier on Instagram. I'm most active on Instagram, but Twitter as well for policy information. So at the Chris Mosier, just my name. And then on the web, transathlete.com is the website that I started about trans inclusive policies at various levels of play. And the Chris Mosier is my website. So awesome. I do hope that folks will connect with me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Chris, for leading us through this great workout. I know it was tough. My legs are a little bit sore right now. So I really appreciate that. And thank you to all who tuned in as well. That wraps up this session of Pistons Pride Week by Delta Dental. Join us tomorrow for a conversation with Kevin Hurd and Sarah and Parker from Free Mom Hug. Enjoy your day, guys.